Honest to fuck. This guy, Mickey, the prophet, he's like Elmer Fudd. He's literally fucking Elmer Fudd. This guy has literally, for the most part, gone off into the woods with a shotgun hunting turkey. I mean, you can't even make this shit up. My man literally drove from New York City up into the Northeast, into like New England. He's like in the woods and he's trying to catch birds to eat. Who the fuck does that? I mean, honestly. Now, I mean, we have gone through a litany of his travels. I mean, the constant and just never-ending saga of Mickey's travels. He's like a fucking, he's like a vagabond. He's like a world traveler. He's like permanent vacation Aerosmith. My man is like, he's out here, there, everywhere. I mean, he's going literally, just so we're clear, he's going to like the Abu Dhabi in like January, in the new year, like the UAE. He's going into the Middle East. He's like going on some fucking tangent month-long vacation. It never ends. He's off on these trips to, remember he went on the river raft? It wasn't a river rafting. He went on some river cruise, on some fancy river cruise ship. He was like in Europe for like a month. Don't you remember? He was never here. You wonder why I do all the fucking pics. And that stubby ass bitch friend of his, that AI little cunt, he's another one that sides with Mickey every time. Sick and tired of it. This guy calls me today. He's like, I'm every other word. He's like lost in the woods and I got no signal from him. He's like, and I'm like, fuck me. Like, bro, I have no idea where the fuck you are. What do I hear gunshots going off. His wife has to be scared to death. Like, he's got 9 grandchildren and he's off fucking like with some shotgun trying to kill turkey in the middle of the woods. He's gonna get lost. I mean, he didn't leave popcorn like a trail so he could get back to the cabin. He's literally living in the woods and trying to hunt game. Like, listen, I go to the fucking store, right, and buy turkeys and hams and put them in the oven. Like, I'm a city boy. Like, I gotta, like, you don't see me out camping ever. Like, so if you're a camper, fuck you. I don't go camping ever. I live in New York City. I don't fucking camp, okay? I don't have a shotgun. I go looking for, to kill birds and shit. Like, I went once. My buddy took me to the, whatever they call it, the gun club. He fucking swing, they shoot the fucking things. Like I'm in England in the 1800s. I don't care about all that. Like shooting game and birds and going to the gun club and shooting, they shoot the disc, and I don't do that. I'm from, the 5 boroughs. That's the guns we got in the 5 boroughs. There's nobody shooting turkey in New York City, okay? I just cannot believe this guy. Like, so you get the gist of it, right? He couldn't make it to the F&P podcast. My man couldn't get it done today. So, screw him, right? Like, who goes up into the woods and does this kind of stuff and then lives in a cabin or some fancy lodge in the middle of the woods, in the middle of fucking nowhere? Who does that? I don't do that. I really don't. Like, you're lucky to get me out of Hell's Kitchen. I'll go down to the end of the block, to Gristetti's. Get some grub, get some food at the store. I don't have any time for all this. Let's pack up the car and the camping gear and let's put the canoes on top of the truck and the bikes on the back. We'll have a real Thanksgiving family trip. Who the fuck does that? I mean, honestly. I mean, it's just beyond me. I can't keep track of this fucking guy. I really can't. And his little friend Stubby. Like, they're constantly out and about and never, when I need them, where they need to be. It really does get annoying, doesn't it, to you, the fans? And then you're mad at me because I don't hit bets. Meanwhile, I do Ferrall Unplugged. I hit tons of fucking bets. When we do the F&P pod, Mickey and I hit tons of bets free. Then I do the pay picks, and it's been like, I mean, I feel like the Rolling Stones. She's so cold. I'm so hot for her, I'm so hot for her, she's so cold. Because I've been getting screwed. How about Sunday? A double hook. I got the Ravens hook and the Arizona hook. And I even told you when the kid missed the field goal in the first half, they'd lose by 3, and they lost by 3 in overtime. I even got that right in terms of how I'd get fucked. So I've been losing bets left and right. I know I hit the Monday night under. I know I hit the St. John's over. That doesn't fucking matter when I'm losing bets. Alabama, suck my dick. San Diego State, suck my dick. But whatever, like, thank God. I mean, look, honestly, I just want to go back to last night real quick. If you watched the FU, the Ferrall Unplugged, yesterday, you know what happened, right? Seriously, in the NHL, because I gave them to you, I just want to go through this again. I gave you the Devils, boom. Rangers, boom. Tampa, boom. Washington, boom. Florida, on the road in Nashville, boom. LA, boom. 6-1. I gave you Vegas at Utah. And I went 6-1 in the 7 games that were played in the NHL last night. And then in the NBA, Dubs, boom. Kings, boom. Rockets, boom. I lost Memphis. I took the points. I don't know. I think I did take them in an upset. I don't even remember doing the Portland-Milwaukee game. I did the Pelicans, boom. They beat the Bulls 143-130. That hit. I think I took Brooklyn in the 12.5. I thought I got 13, so I would have pushed. I got the Miami bet wrong. Dallas covered. I hit the Raptors over Cleveland, boom. And then I got the Pistons wrong. They won, but they didn't cover. So I was hitting games left and right. Then college basketball. There were all kinds of games that we gave out to you in terms of Tennessee would beat Rutgers. Let's just go through some of them that I remember. I lost the Creighton bet by 1 point. That sucked my ass, as usual. Seton Hall over NC State. Incredible. In terms of just games that we did, here's the ones I know. St. John's covered the 2.5. I hit the UC San Diego over Temple. And then GW over Middle Tennessee. Hit Boise in the Maui. They lost by 3, but we had Boise in points. They covered. Charleston over Evansville. Boom, that hit. George Mason hit. And then I'm just looking at other ones. NJIT we gave you, and that hit. They were getting 34.5. Louisville and Eastern Michigan. I think we said we'd take the points, and that didn't happen. That didn't work out for us. They lost 87-46. Bradley over Princeton, that hit. Florida Gulf Coast and Oral Roberts. Oral Roberts hit. We gave you Oral Roberts and the points. New Orleans covered against Mississippi State in overtime. And then we gave you SMU against Radford. Radford covered 24.5. So we got that wrong. Auburn beat Oregon 84-73. We hit this one. This is a game, if you watch the FU, we definitely hit. It was the FAU game in the Sunrise Slam Beach tournament in Florida. We told you Loyola Marymount could not fly all the way from California and cover against FAU, and they didn't. FAU beat them 76-65, and that hit. We had Davis over Louisiana, that hit. How about Chaminade? We told you they would cover against Washington State because Washington State blows, that hit. What else? Arizona against Denver. Denver covered the 32.5. I got that wrong. Got Alabama wrong. Got San Diego State wrong. And hit Arizona State against Texas. I thought Texas would win that game. They lost 87-86. So we're giving out tons of free plays. So let's do it again on a Tuesday. There's a bunch of games that go down today in everything. College football, 4:30. Bowling Green and UMass. Bowling Green's going to beat the shit out of UMass today, even in Amherst. I'm laying the 2 tutties. UMass is 0-11. They blow. Western Michigan's going to beat Eastern Michigan in Ypsilanti. I'm laying the 7.5. NBA, Atlanta and Washington. Washington's getting 10.5. It doesn't matter. I like Atlanta. Orlando and Philly. I like Philly at home and 3.5. Clippers and Lakers. That's part of the pay package, so I'm going to plead the 5th on that one. College rack. There's games that are going to be going on all day. I'm just going to start with the ones that haven't started, that are up later, okay? Because we're going to get these up. And the bottom line is, when they post this podcast, it's already going to have several games that have started. So I'm going to try at best. I like Iowa State over Creighton. I think that game's going over 152.5. Kansas and Syracuse. Syracuse gave Houston fits. I think Kansas will beat them. I'll lay the 5.5. I think Syracuse shot their wad yesterday. They had them. They could have won. They had the last possession. They fucked it up. They didn't get a shot off. They got it blocked, and then they lost in overtime. Houston never loses, by the way. They haven't lost to an unranked team in like 30 games. And they never lose. They don't cover, but they don't lose. I like Northern Iowa over Loyola Chicago in the Acrisure Holiday Tournament. Where are they playing that game? It's in Palm Springs, California. And I think Northern Iowa is going to beat the shit out of Loyola Chicago. I like Kennesaw over Oral Roberts. Baylor and St. John's. It's part of the pay package, so I'm not going to F with that right here, but I think that's going to be a great game. In fact, I think I did a total, and I'll tell you what, I think Baylor will beat them. St. John's just keeps losing. They lose big games. I mean, they lost yesterday. I think they'll lose again today. Seton Hall and USC. I think Seton Hall will take the 6.5 points against USC in the Maui. I like Seton Hall. They look good. I like UC San Diego against Bradley. I'll lay the 1.5. I like, that's their first loss, Loyola Marymount. I think they're going to beat Ohio's ass. They're getting 3.5 in the Sunshine Slam. Now that they've adjusted to being in Florida and they lost yesterday to FAU, they're going to win today. They're going to beat Ohio's ass. Forget that 3.5. They're going to beat the shit out of them. That game's at 5 o'clock on CBS Sports Network. Drexel will beat Morgan. I'll lay the 7.5. North Carolina, St. Bonnie. I like North Carolina easy. 10.5. Forget about it. Tennessee and Houston. I'll take Houston, lay the 3.5. And I have that as a pay pick in the total today on Tuesday. William and Mary and Abilene. I like William and Mary, laying 1.5. Ohio State and the Mount. I think Ohio State will beat the shit out of them in Columbus. It's on the Big Ten Network at 6:30. Cal Baptist, I like, and UC San Diego, or just U San Diego, the Toreros. I think that's going to be a great game. I'll go over 145.5 in that game. I'll tell you what, give me Quinnipiac and 12.5 points against UCF. They beat Pitt outright, so give me the 12.5 points. Florida State laying 25.5 to Bakersfield. Too many points. I don't think they'll cover 25.5. I like James Madison minus 1.5 against Omaha. Penn State laying 14.5 against BU. I think they'll get it done. I really do. Nova laying 21.5 against Old D. I think they'll get it done. Nova. Wake and Campbell. Wake laying 17.5. I think they'll get it done. God, I don't know. I'll tell you what, that smells like Campbell covered at 17 and a hook to me. Anyway, what else? I'm just looking for good games. Some of these games are so awful, I can't even mention them. I really can't. Purdue Fort Wayne laying 11.5 to Chicago State. That'll happen. North Carolina Central getting 7.5 from South Carolina Upstate. Jesus, I'll go under 148.5 there. I'm just doing these raw dog. GW against Murray State. I like GW laying 7.5. I really do. And then Temple Princeton. Princeton getting 7.5. And where is this game? I can't even get it to pull up. Can't get it to pull up. I know that's a tournament game somewhere. The ESPN Events Invitational. It's in Kissimmee, Florida. Princeton's tough. Give me the points. Kansas State and Indiana's at 8 o'clock on FS1. I got that part of the pay package, so get those on the pay picks. Florida Atlantic and the Sunshine Slam Beach. They're laying 5.5 to George Mason. Too many points. I think it's going to be a great game. I'll take George Mason and the points. Missouri laying 34.5 to South Carolina State. Missouri's going to beat the shit out of them and cover. A&M's laying 43.5 against Mississippi Valley State. They won't cover that. There's no way they're covering 43.5. North Texas laying 12.5 to Eastern Washington. I think they'll cover. The games never end. I like Arizona State minus 6.5 at the Maui against Washington State. Auburn and Michigan. Michigan never loses. I like the over 162.5. I like the over in that game. 8:30 on TNT. Nebraska laying 15.5 to Winthrop. I think Nebraska will cover. Irvine against New Mexico State. I'll take 2.5 with New Mexico State against Irvine. What else? Maryland and Gonzaga. Gonzaga laying 14.5. I think they'll get it done. They got it done yesterday against Alabama by 10. Maryland isn't Alabama, so give me Gonzaga. Iowa against Ole Miss, laying 4.5. Wow, I like the over 142.5 in that game, to be honest with you. UCLA and Cal, they're both 5-1. Cal getting 8.5. I'll take the 8.5. Texas and Chaminade. Jesus, I'll take the 30 and a hook with Chaminade. And then San Diego State and Oregon, 140 and a hook. I'll take the over. It's at 11 o'clock on TNT. Hockey tonight. I like the over 6 goals in Edmonton. Dallas and Edmonton are the only game tonight. Oh, I want to take Dallas. I think Dallas can win that game, plus 115. Edmonton's a heavy favorite, minus $1.37. I like the over 6. Fair enough? All right, just so we're clear, let's look at Wednesday, because we're going to do a podcast on Thursday, a Ferrall and a Profit podcast on Thursday, and we're going to do one on Saturday. We always do the Saturday, all the college football, all the pro football. It covers Saturday and Sunday, so we'll do 2 more podcasts this week. You get this podcast from me today, and then you'll get the other ones Thursday and Saturday. So tomorrow, Boston's hot. I like Boston to upset the Pistons, laying 1.5 in Beantown. I like the Knicks in Charlotte. I like Miami at home against Milwaukee, laying 6.5. Oak City laying 10.5 to Minnesota. Wow, that's a great game. I like the over 228.5 in that game. Toronto, I like. I don't see a line yet, but I like Toronto over the Pacers as sure as I'm sitting here. Memphis and New Orleans. If I get enough points with, let's say you get anywhere over 7.5 from Memphis to the Pelicans side, I would go Pelicans at 8 o'clock in New Orleans, taking the points. I gave you the Pelicans last night, and they won outright, and they put up 140-some points, so they're playing better. Houston, I like. Getting one at Golden State tomorrow night on ESPN at 10 o'clock. Wednesday night at 10 o'clock, give me the Rockets. Spurs at Portland. I kind of like the Spurs. Getting 2.5 at Portland, and it's 237.5. No Wembanyama, no Castle. I say under. Believe it or not, under 237.5. And then at 10 o'clock, Phoenix and Sacramento. All of a sudden, the Kings are playing. Give me the Kings, and whatever they get in that game, they'll probably get points. Maybe 1.5, 2.5, something like that. It's not going to be much. On Wednesday at noon, you've got UNLV in Alabama in College Rack in Vegas. Over 181.5. I don't think so. I'll go under 181.5. Alabama's going to beat UNLV. I see no line, just the total. Utah and Grand Canyon. Grand Canyon's laying 4.5 is what I'm seeing. I'll take Utah all day. Vandy and Western Kentucky in the Bahamas. I like Vandy. I don't see numbers here, right? Troy and St. Francis. I love Troy to beat St. Francis. Troy has been nothing but trouble for everyone they play. They took USC to 3 overtimes. Texas Tech and New Orleans. I like Texas Tech. But don't give them anything over 25 because New Orleans will cover. Belmont and Toledo in the Coconut Royal Palm Tournament. I just want to see what Belmont has done so far. I like Belmont. They haven't lost a game. They look fantastic. All right? So give me Belmont in that game. Army and Fairleigh Dickinson. Give me Army. Wofford and Northern Kentucky. I just want to see what Northern Kentucky's done. They got 2 losses. And Wofford, let me just see what Wofford's got going. 2 losses as well. But they've won 3 in a row. I kind of like Wofford in that game. VCU and South Florida in the Bahamas. I'll tell you what, VCU's always tough if you ask me. I'm just looking at their schedule, but they've lost a couple games, and South Florida has lost a couple games as well. They just lost their last game at Oklahoma State. They did beat Kennesaw. I guess I'll take South Florida in that game in Atlantis. What else? Valpo over Southern Indiana. I like Valpo. And I mean, these games are awful. Vatech in Colorado State, in Atlantis, in the Bahamas. I just want to see what Colorado State has done. They got 1 loss, and Vatech has not lost. Give me Vatech over Colorado State. Cincinnati over Eastern Michigan. This is on Wednesday tomorrow. Pepperdine and Fresno. I like Fresno. Kennesaw and Florida Gulf Coast. That's going to be a good game. Oh, man. Florida Gulf Coast has lost a couple games. And give me Kennesaw State in that game. I actually like that game. And that game is in Fort Myers, Florida. That won't be easy. It's like almost like a home game for Florida Gulf Coast. I like St. Mary's over Wichita State. Memphis over Southern Illinois. Louisville over New Jersey Institute of Tech. Portland over Long Beach. New Mexico over Alcorn State. I believe that's Alcorn. No, maybe it's Alabama State. It don't matter. Give me New Mexico. I like New Mexico in that game. And where is that game? It's in Albuquerque at the Pit. Forget about it. New Mexico's going to beat the shit out of them. Hockey on Wednesday. Let's just get through this. I like Columbus at home over Toronto. And it's minus 122. I can live with that. I like Carolina over the Rangers in Raleigh. Detroit at home over Nashville. Florida at home over the Flyers. Devils at home over the Blues. Islanders at home over the Bruins. The Penguins lose every game, but they're not losing to the Sabres in Pittsburgh because I'm going to the game Friday night against the Leafs, and they're going to fucking lose that game, so they're not going to lose this one. They've lost 2 in a row at home. They just lost in overtime to Seattle. They're going to beat Buffalo. Then they're going to lose to the Leafs. Give me the Penguins at minus 118. Calgary's won 3 in a row. Can I get Calgary plus a goal and a half at minus $1.58? It's too much of a price. How about Upset City? How about Rogie Vachon? Give me the Flames plus 167 to upset Tampa Bay. I like Washington and Ovechkin at home over Winnipeg. They don't have a goalie. How about the Blackhawks in an upset over the Wild in Chicago? Bedard's been playing great. Colorado over San Jose. Puck line it, lay a goal and a half, they'll still cover. I like Utah at home over Montreal. Anaheim at home over Vancouver. Dallas is in Seattle. I told you I was going to take Dallas against Edmonton tonight, so I'll take them tomorrow night to beat Seattle at the Climate Pledge. And I like Vegas at home over Ottawa. Woo! I just gave you 1 million plays. Honest to Christ. Now, don't forget, on Turkey Day, there's a triple header in the NFL Pain Day style. The 1 o'clock game is the Packers at the Lions at Ford Field on Fox in Detroit Rock City. The 4:30 game is on CBS and Paramount. It's Kansas City at Dallas at Jerry's World. Detroit's laying 2.5, 49 is the total. Dallas is getting 3, 52 is the total against the Chiefs. Chiefs are 6-5. Dallas is 5-1. They have to win or they're fucked. And then the night game at 8:20 on NBC is Cincinnati and Baltimore. Turkey night. Baltimore laying 7, 52. Joey Silk. Joe Burrow will be playing on Thursday night. And then 7:30 on Turkey night, you got Navy and Memphis. And that game is Memphis laying 5.5. And that game is at the Liberty Stadium in Memphis. They're laying 5.5 and 58.5 is the total, just so you know that. And by the way, Black Friday, you've got the Bears and Eagles at 3 o'clock on Prime. Philly laying 7, 44.5 is the total. So there is so much action. And I mean, in college football on Black Friday, listen to this. Utah, Kansas, Iowa, Nebraska. I'm just talking about good games. Georgia, Georgia Tech, Boise and Utah State, A&M and Texas, Indiana and Purdue, 7:30 on NBC on Black Friday night. And then 9 o'clock on Fox, Arizona and Arizona State. That's just to name a few. There's other ones. Ole Miss and Mississippi State, Air Force and Colorado State, Temple and North Texas, Ohio and Buffalo, Kent and Northern Illinois. I think Kent can beat them, actually. So there's tons of games on Thursday and Friday. We'll be talking about all of those on the Ferrall and the Prophet podcast on Thursday. You'll get all the free plays that you can desire. You're going to be stuffing your fat fucking faces with turkey all day and getting hammered with all your family and friends and relatives. Hope they get to your crib safe. I thought I'd give you a Tuesday F&P pod minus your boy up in the woods, Elmer Fudd, shooting at birds with his sawed-off shotgun. Nothing but trouble, that Mickey, I gotta tell you. And that little stubby-ass bitch. Your boy Stubby. Anyway, you get it all. Ferrall coming through in the clutch with a Tuesday pod minus the Prophet, as usual. He doesn't come through. I come through. Now, hopefully we can hit some of these goddamn pay picks. Getting sick of fucking losing bets. The programming's great, though, right? Great shows, great videos, great everything. You're good to go. We got a great community, a hardcore community of friends and fans that love to bet. And we love to hit winners for you, free or otherwise. Pay picks, get the pay packages, watch the Max Profit video and Profit video every day. You're good to go. We'll see you on another F&P podcast on Thursday and then again on Saturday. Until then, let's hope Elmer Fudd doesn't shoot his fucking foot off.